Dear YouTube, this video does not violate any community guidelines. It is intended to share my journey of growing some plants that I like very much. This video does not encourage, glorify, or promote any illegal activities, sale, or consumption of regulated substances. This video is compliant with all YouTube policies. Also, if you're not 21, click off, man. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my brand new channel. I've always wanted to document and make videos about my growing adventures, so I'm finally getting around to it. I've only grown 3 plants so far, like ever, but yeah, from here on I want to document all of them. My first one was outdoor from a clone. The dispo called it Gorilla Glue number 12. I'd always heard of GG4, but not 12, but anyway. I started keeping this plant under this light I got from Walmart, this little cheap blurple, and I quickly realized that wasn't going to work for very long. Luckily, the landlord I was staying with at the time was growing too, so he let me put my plant outside in his yard, and he gave me a bigger pot to use at the time. I used Fox Farm Ocean Forest transplant it into, and I started training it a bit. I started diving into everything growing on YouTube just to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I eventually transplanted it again into a 10-gallon fabric pot. I didn't have enough to fill it up all the way, so that's why you see some like regular dirt on the very top. I just dug it up from the yard. I was feeding the plant with these organic nutrients from Earth Juice. It was just like the first thing I saw at a grocery store near me, so I just picked it up and went with that. Kind of used whatever the bottle said to use, and I was just using hose water to water it too, so I guess I got lucky because I guess the water was perfectly fine from that city. I started to train it a lot more, started getting a lot more tops. I made this makeshift scrog out of some fence wire and bamboo sticks, just tucking the tops underneath whenever they outgrew the others. But shortly after, it started to really take off. It shot like, I think it was about a foot above the scrog. That rock you see underneath that I'll show on screen was because a branch broke and I had to hold it back in place so it could heal back to itself. And luckily it worked out pretty well, pretty damn well at that. I don't have any pictures of it starting flower, but I do have some pictures I'll throw up of it later in flower. Unfortunately, with it being outdoor, it was subject to some very unfortunate events that happened that year. In 2020, there were some really bad wildfires and basically covered the entire sky in smoke. Like the sun was just blood red. It was bad, and I suspect that raised the humidity pretty bad because my buds started to rot, and so I had to just chop it down really early, which sucked, but it still got me high in the end. I didn't know anything about drying or curing, so it was pretty harsh. It didn't taste very well, but it got me high, and yeah, I just got rid of that brown moldy shit and went on with my life. It was alright. I loved that grow. Definitely got me addicted to growing. My second grow was 2 plants side by side indoors in a 2x2 tent. I didn't really take pictures of the plants much at all, except for the buds like close up. I really wish I did, but as you can see here, they were looking pretty fucking good. I took these ones I grew from seed though. At the time I was working at a cannabis facility, making pre-rolls and all kinds of shit. And when we processed the buds, sometimes some of them would have seeds, and I was just collecting the seeds, and I took them home. And I think one of them, I think the purple one, I'm pretty sure was blueberry muffin. Not 100% sure on that. It was blueberry something, I know that much. I did start using like pH'd water and shit because I was in a different city. I didn't know if it would work out well, and I just wanted to be safe. Still using the ocean forest and the organic nutrients, I think it was like I think I used maybe 5-gallon pots for those since it was a smaller space. I did end up getting thrips on those, and I had to spray it with some Captain Jack's insecticidal super soap, and then I put some diatomaceous earth around the stem of the plant on the soil, so that's why you see that white shit on the leaves in the pictures. I was using a Bloom Plus Pt.1 grow light. It was like hella cheap on Amazon. It was probably pretty much the first thing I saw, and I was like, yeah, that one. So, and I mean, luckily it worked, got me through to bud, but again, I didn't dry and cure properly, so again, the smell was off, it was harsh, but again, it got me high, so it worked. But now we're in March of 2025. That first grow was 2020. The second one I think was 2022 or 23. No, it must have been 22. But yeah, now we're in 2025. I've been wanting to grow again, and I finally have space. So I set up my tent, set up the light, all that, and I went to my local dispo, got some vanilla frosting from Humboldt Seed Company, and I threw them in a mixture of water and hydrogen peroxide. I tried to make a 1% solution according to some guys on YouTube, but I probably fucked it up because it took like at least a week for even a smidge of a root to show. But once they did, I let it get to about a 1/4 inch, and then I threw them in the soil, this time using Happy Frog from Fox Farm, and threw on some masking tape, labeling it with the strain name and what date I planted it so I could keep track of it. Now I actually am doing some footage of what's been going on. I've also got a bunch of little plants in there too. I've got some chia and some catnip growing. Figured if I had some other plants in there too, it would help raise the humidity. I tried using these Ziploc bags as humidity domes, but they kept drying out really fast, so later on I switched to like cut off bottoms of like water bottles. At this point, you know, the seedlings were poking out, and still using the Bloom Plus PP1000. I wanted to get my fiance into growing too, so I let her quote unquote have one of the seeds, even if I'm going to be taking care of it, but I'm going to try to be teaching her. Ignore her colorful name she gave for it. Now in this video, it's the 15th of March. The seedlings are up out of the soil. They've got some leaves going. They're getting their light. This is where the water bottles come in, and I got little slits in the bottom of them for airflow. It definitely helped with the humidity way more. They hold on to that humidity way better. And I also added that seedling mat because I think they were growing slow because they were cold. So I did that. The chia was starting to grow fucking crazy. It blew up. That was great. The catnip, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that, but it was growing at least. But yeah, those burnt edges are weird. Don't know what's going on with that. My African violets, they're blooming now. Got them pink little flowers. And the little pots you see in the sandwich bags, those are some like seed starting kits I just picked up from my work. They gave them out as like freebies. Kind of like when your job gives you a pizza party, but kind of worse than that. But not for me, because I love to grow shit. So this grow, I wanted to try and work with some synthetic nutrients. And I got this Fox Farm trio to try it out. See how that goes. I know technically the Big Bloom is organic, but you know, the other two are synthetic, so whatever. I haven't used any of it yet, but I will once the plants start to show signs of needing some food. And on to yesterday, as of recording this, the cactus is sprouted, the sunflower is sprouted, the chia is even bigger now, a lot more violets are blooming. Catnip keeps growing, but still has that weird burnt edge issue. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I'm letting it dry out because I think I maybe overwatered it. I don't know yet. The vanilla frosting seedlings are coming along nicely. I'm hoping that as the roots develop and more families develop, I hope it'll, you know, really grab onto more nutrients in that soil and it'll really take off. I also replaced my grow light with a Farm Light 240 watt. It's technically meant for a 4x4 tent, but it fits in my 2x2, so I just keep it dim. Can't have too much. Well, I mean, you can have too much, but at least when it comes to flowering time, I'll have plenty of light for them compared to that Bloom Plus. Now you're all cut up. I know it's not much, but that's what I've got so far. I'm gonna make another update once I see some significant growth. Hope you stick around to see how it goes. Either I succeed and it's really fucking good, or maybe I fuck it up entirely. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate you watching, and if you have any advice or just want to share your growth stories, just drop a comment, tell me what's up. If you like this video, hit that like button, or if you didn't, hit the dislike. That's what they're there for. Peace, y'all.